There comes a moment in life that doesn't announce itself loudly. No dramatic event, no clear ending, no obvious beginning. It starts quietly. You begin to feel less attached to the things that once defined you. The habits, the routines, the identities you carried without questioning them. And at first, that detachment feels uncomfortable, even frightening, because certainty disappears before clarity arrives. This is what most people don't talk about. Before life changes outwardly, it shifts inwardly, and that inner shift can feel like confusion, restlessness, or a strange sense of emotional distance from the life you're currently living. This isn't failure. This isn't losing motivation. This is the beginning of the big shift. The mind starts releasing versions of yourself that no longer fit. Goals that were built on external validation begin to feel hollow. Distractions lose their appeal. Old coping mechanisms stop working. And suddenly, the noise that once kept you comfortable becomes unbearable. That's when people panic. They try to recreate motivation, they chase excitement, they force productivity. But the shift isn't asking you to add more. It's asking you to let go. Psychologically, this phase is deeply unsettling because the brain craves predictability. It wants familiar rewards, familiar identities, familiar patterns. But growth doesn't negotiate with comfort. It slowly dismantles what no longer serves you, often without explaining what comes next. This is why so many people mistake transformation for depression or burnout. They don't feel energized, so they assume something is wrong. They don't feel inspired, so they try to escape the discomfort instead of understanding it. But what's actually happening is a recalibration. Your nervous system is adjusting. Your priorities are reorganizing. Your mind is creating space for a more aligned direction, even if you can't see it yet. The big shift rarely feels empowering in the moment. It feels empty, quiet, uncertain. You may feel disconnected from people who once felt close, not because you've grown cold, but because you're no longer vibrating at the same frequency. You may feel impatient with surface-level conversations, less interested in proving yourself, less willing to tolerate distractions that numb you instead of fulfilling you. This is a sign of psychological maturity, not isolation. At this stage, discipline begins to change shape. It's no longer about forcing action, it's about restraint, about choosing depth over stimulation, stillness over noise, alignment over approval. You start noticing that growth is no longer about becoming someone new, it's about returning to something more honest, stripping away excess identities until what remains feels real again. And this is where patience becomes essential. The big shift doesn't reward rushing, it rewards presence. The ability to sit with uncertainty without trying to escape it. The willingness to trust that clarity arrives after confusion, not before it. Many people abandon this phase too early. They numb themselves, they distract themselves. They return to old patterns simply because they feel familiar. But if you're here, listening to this, there's a part of you that knows something important is unfolding. Even if you can't explain it yet, even if it feels uncomfortable. This channel exists for people standing at that threshold, between who they were and who they're becoming, between noise and meaning, between movement and stillness. You don't need to force the shift, you need to allow it. Let go of the pressure to figure everything out. Let go of the urgency to perform growth. Let go of the idea that transformation should look impressive from the outside. The most profound changes happen quietly, internally, without witnesses. And one day, without realizing when it happened, you'll look back and understand. That period of confusion wasn't stagnation, it was preparation. The big shift was already happening.